Oh man, I think we're live. What's up, folks? Dave Bartosiak here, and trying a little something new that we're gonna do here. I've got my OBS, which is a free streaming software. I like free. You should love free. Free is great. And I want to do a little kind of screen sharing, taking a look at what's up with the market. In the future, what I'd like to do is get a few of my boys on. One of them's texting me right now. So anyway, I think what we're going to do in the future is do like an aftermarket thing where we take a look at what's happening in life and talk a lot of garbage about it. Now, really, it's not going to be like business related with, you know, that whole other thing that I do in life. It's more like vloggy. So it's like me kicking it here. That's why I wore my extra special undershirt today. So we could talk about markets and things. And then in the future, I think what I'm going to do, man, we're just going to like walk around, show you Sunny Isles Beach, show you when I'm in Chicago, just kind of behind the scenes, just normal life stuff. We're going to stop being so stuffy and just kind of talk about, you know, what we do, how we make money, and what I look at. So that's what I'm going to do. So you guys can see here, we got a little bit of screen here, me. Yeah, live, it's me. But then behind you, which I hope you can see, is our kind of my screen, what I look at. So this is active tick that I use to just kind of scroll through the market in general. Just give me a broad overview. Here we've got an options chain. This is on Michael Kors because I went short Kors a while ago, and I put on I just bought some puts, some out of the money puts. I didn't really time it right. Didn't do. It sucks. I had like the direction was perfect, and that stock really took a tumble on earnings. But I got a little. I guess I went too far out. Got a little too greedy. Didn't really make the money that I wanted to make. So whatever, man. So just looking at the market in general, these are some stocks that I follow for my business side of things. Those are looking good. Again, we're just kind of testing the stream. I'm trying to see what the resolution is and all that. So I'll probably end up deleting this shortly after it goes up, but I wanted to see how this works. The other cool part is we're getting like ATT gigapower internet, which is awesome. So it's like 940 megabytes per second or something like that, which is going to be super dope. Because right now I get the regular AT&T internet stuff. Anyway, so what the heck happened in the market today, man? Nothing, right? Chop City, if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see what I got going on the screen right now, but just Chop City, right? So this is the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures contract, and it basically just chopped around 2371 down to 2365. That's not much of a range, very tight range. Here you can see just kind of slapping around the VWAP. Did come down here. This might have been a good trade. So if you look at this, the VWAP is a volume weighted average price. So this is what the machines use when they're coming up with their trades. And you can see this middle line here. That's the actual VWAP. And then you have one standard deviation below, one standard deviation above, and 2 and 3, right? So that's what this is. So you'll notice this kind of came down, touched that -1 deviation, went to the +1, or I'm sorry, -2, and then kind of chopped around and then went higher. So that's the ES. So not a lot going on there. I've been trading gold a lot, or following gold a lot. So there's this. So this was a little better. I wasn't really trading today, nor was I paying attention to the futures markets. So gold kind of came up, touched the VWAP here twice, sold off down here. So that's good, solid. Offered up a nice little opportunity to make some money there, but I wasn't around to do it. But still, I mean, that's not much of a move, though. 1205 down to like 1202. So you wouldn't have been able to make much money on that. Contrast that to some of the major moves you've seen in gold. It's been pretty good. If I go out to the daily chart, you can see a little bit more. Those lines are going to go away. That smart VWAP indicator that I have is going to go away. But you'll see, you know, sort of the overall trend in gold. And then right here, coming to this 1200 level, I don't know, man. I think you're going to have a little bit of support. The other thing about this is Bitcoin. So you saw last week the Winklevoss twins. Yes, those Winklevoss twins, the guys from the whole Facebook debauchery back in the day. they wanted to bring a Bitcoin ETF to the marketplace, and the SEC was like, nah, not so much, because Bitcoin's kind of an unregulated market. And we still had these very high profile like Bitcoin hacks. So the SEC's like, there's no way we're going to allow that to happen, which kind of sucks for Bitcoin because it would have been a great sort of validating moment for them. But on the flip side, I think what happened was it benefited our gold trade a little bit, or the gold trade a little bit. But it's too soon to tell, right? So gold was in a pretty good negative sort of downtrend here, and then it's popped up just really a couple of days, but this is bouncing off of some lows, and you never know, right? It's still pretty much negative for gold. Plus, you have that negative correlation between gold and interest rates. So if interest rates are creeping up, we're going to have a problem here. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. I've been trying to find ways to play gold. Because here, if you look on the daily, you've got that commodity channel index. It's oversold. Now it's going to creep back up. And if it creeps up through the zero line, then of course you've got a buy signal. The other way to play it, though, is just sometimes just the crossing of the negative 100 is a decent way. A lot of people, what you'll wait for is the opposite of what I'm saying. So you would short it when it went down below negative 100, and then cover it when it comes back up over negative 100. And that's worked in the past, right? It's worked here a little bit, and then on the flip side, you buy it. I just kind of use it for an overall overbought, kind of oversold indicator. So I don't necessarily make a trade decision just based on that alone. But that's what I look at. And then we go intraday again on this, and I'm just looking to fade a move to the VWAP. And then tomorrow, if it starts above and comes below, then I'd be looking to buy that. Let's look at the euro too, because I'm not only looking at the stock market. I like to look at the euro because you can make some decent money. I made some money last week on this. I actually played this. Let me zoom this in and just scoot it over and see what I did last week. Man, this is cool. All right, so last week I kind of sat. I wasn't here. I don't know where I was, but at 9 o'clock I was not in front of my computer, ready to go. I can't remember what I was doing. But later on in the day, when it got up here, sort of this 107.48 and change, if you looked at the spot euro, and I can do that too. I can pull up the spot euro. If you look at the spot euro, it was right at 107. So it kind of like, when you see the two of those coming right in line like that, it was a perfect little short, and I went short. I picked up, I think I got shaken out of it though. I was being super just silly. I caught like 10 pips and I was like, all right, that's it. I don't know why. I was just a little bit gun shy there. Let's see if we get that move. There it is. See, I had that fib drawn because that's what I was looking for. I was looking to fade this up at 107 and catch whatever. And look at today, man. They sucked everybody in and then pounded them down. And I think these fibs will hold. You might need to go further out. I don't know. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Maybe the euro sells off a little bit more tomorrow. So but if we're at this fib, I don't know. This could actually bounce. It depends on thing. Okay, now let's look at some stocks though. What are we looking at? Nike? No, who cares about Nike? Mobileye. That's what I want to talk about. Mobileye. All right, so, God, man, this is one of those things where you're like, oh God, where was I? Like, I totally should have been invested in Mobileye this whole time, but I wasn't. Right? You got a nice little uptrend here too, so that would have helped. I did a video on this where we put a bullish call spread on this. We bought the 45-47 call spread for March 17th. Looks like that's going to be in the green now. And one of the things people were asking me was like, well, should I close out the short end of the call spread, like buy the 47s? So what you do on the call spread is you go long the 45 in this case and short the 47, right? So that way your upside ends up being limited, but your capital outlay is less too, because you buy the $45 call and you offset that with the price of the 47 call that you sell. So you don't have as much money at risk, but your upside potential is limited. And then when something like this happens and the stock breaks out to the upside, you end up kicking yourself because you're like, man, I could have made so much more money if I just would have held on. And obviously, or if you never had that short call, but this kind of stuff doesn't happen all the time, right? The good news is that 45-47 call spread is completely 100% in the money now, so I can basically close it out for a max gain. But it's frustrating when you see, that 45 call is worth $1,500, and the 47 call is $1,300, and you got to cover for $1,300. It seems like a lot of money, right? So anyway, so that was Mobileye. That was a big one. And then, yeah, we've got sort of the calendar for next week we got to look at. I like checking out. Here's my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me, it's at Bartosiastics. At Bartosiastics. It just starts with a B and keeps on going. BARTOSIASTICS. So a lot going on there. And yeah. So anyway, it's earningswhispers.com. I like to use their calendar. I know it's probably, I wish somebody else I knew had a much better calendar. I'm not going to say any names or any places that I might work. Just wish they had a better calendar for us. Where's my earnings whispers? It's not going to come up right now. Anyway, so I always check these guys out when I'm looking for, what I want to talk about in the coming week, stuff like that. So, but of course now it's not. Why is earnings whispers? What's wrong with earnings whispers here? Why is this not coming up? Anyway, whatever. So this was just a quick little test of this live stream with my software. I don't want to get too much into it. Good news is the software works fantastic, so that is a definite plus. Plus, I think you got to even hear the little music I had coming in, which is great. And yeah, I'm gonna start messing with this, doing some of this. Plus, oh, there's my earnings whispers. Micron. I'm definitely gonna have to talk about them pretty soon. But anyway, so I wanted to just cover to see if this works, and later, because what I want to do is I want to have my friends in, and my friends know who they are. I want to have like a Skype call going, so you guys can hear the three of us sort of looking live what's happening in the market, bringing up different ideas, just talking about a quick little market recap. I think that's going to be awesome. Something I'm going to do in the future with my buddy Bolin and the man known as FNG, Jeremy Mullen, fantastic trader. So I'm hoping the three of us can get on the same page. And don't expect me to wear anything fancy. I'm not wearing any button-ups. I'm just going to be wearing like this. My plan is to do as many videos in an undershirt as humanly possible. That's that Miami trader lifestyle. Of course, next week I'm going to be, this week, 2 days, I'm going to be back in Chicago. So I'm going to do this today, maybe tomorrow, and then we're going to have a little bit of a break while I kind of get things together, and we'll go from there. So thanks, guys, for hanging out on the first one, the first of potentially many. Work out some kinks, see how this goes, and hope to bring some value to you guys in the future. Now, hold up. Actually, before I sign off here, who's reporting tomorrow? Got anybody fun after the bell tomorrow that we need to look at? No? Yeah, getting towards the tail end of earnings season here. You see these names. There's nothing really jumping out too much at me. So nothing that exciting that I think is going to move the market tomorrow. Remember, we've got the Fed coming up. That's going to be a big deal when the Fed comes out and says what they're going to do. If you guys ever look at the Fed Watch tool, or you don't look at the Fed Watch tool, you should. CME Fed Watch, I always just Google it because I don't remember what it is. You just Google that, and then you get this nice little countdown to the FOMC, and it tells you, look at this, man. They're pricing, there's a 95.2% chance that the Fed is going to raise rates coming up here this week. So that's all but priced in. This is the thing, though, when the market's so sure of it and then it doesn't happen, that's when it gets crazy, and there could be huge opportunities. I just don't believe that's going to happen, right? I don't believe that the market's going to be that wrong. But then again, I can rattle off 5 or 6 things the market's been wrong about. Brexit, Trump, the Cubs, they're always wrong, right? It's like this last year was like the year of the impossible. Who'd have thunk? I wouldn't have thunk that I'd be sitting here in sunny Isles Beach, Florida, doing trading and doing market stuff, right? Wouldn't have thought that. So anyway, 95% chance of the Fed raising. I think it's going to happen too. And how are we going to make money on this? That's the question. And the answer, my friends, I think it's in this pair here. Dollar, euro. this huge reaction, this sort of uptick that we saw in the euro over the course of the last few days was a direct result of some total BS rumor about there's chatter out of Draghi and the rest of the ECB that they might go ahead and raise rates a little sooner than expected, or they can raise rates during QE, some kind of nonsense like that. So anytime you talk about raising rates is going to increase your currency. So that's what you had happen here in the euro. I'm looking to fade this move because I just don't see this happening for life, right? Go out to the daily again, and you'll see here that huge move on that news, and it broke through the highs of the 16th, but a spike up not really follow through. I don't know, man. I think that comes down. Plus, you get a rate hike. No matter how much the market's already priced it in, once it actually happens, you're going to get that. So I think what you're going to see on this day, you see this little spike here. This is November 9th. Get another spike here, December 8th. So you get these intraday spikes on these news events, and then that's what you end up selling. So you sell into something like that, and you can make money. What I'm going to do here on this channel is when that happens, I'm going to do it live. I'm going to do a live stream of exactly what's happening and talk about it and talk about the market. So just more fun stuff. Plus, I'm going to sprinkle in actual life on this channel because you guys see me all stuffy talking garbage, like in my official capacity as whatever the heck I do, talking head / stock market guru thing, whatever it is. But I'm going to do some normal things, right? Show you my Jordan shoe collection when I'm walking through, when I go to the beach, when I got the dog. Where is the dog? Come here, dog. Come here. So look at this beast I have. This thing is, look at that face. This thing weighs like a half a pound. It's like, this isn't even a dog. Look at this thing. Look at the, I don't know. Girlfriends, man, I'm telling you. Anyway, so I'm going to do live events. Things are happening. So keep an eye on the channel, man. Subscribe, do whatever. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of content I'm pushing on this thing. Some of it's going to be just hilarious because it's going to be me just talking garbage and having fun. And other stuff is going to be market related. So again, I think we need to look to fade this later on. And then this gold trade is going to be interesting. We got to see how this pans out over the course of the next few days. If there's a short-term rally, because again, if they raise rates, gold's going to come tumbling down. So that means, my friends, the GDXJs of the world and the GDX of the world, right? These things that are getting a little bit of a rally now are going to get beat down. I could take this Fibonacci off, but these things are going to get beat down. So they're rallying a little bit here. I love trading the GDX, GDXJ, this kind of stuff because they're optionable. So if this thing really does fall apart, it's going to get gnarly, and you're going to have a huge opportunity to make money in the short term and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for the two of those things moving forward. What else is a huge opportunity this week? I don't know, because there's not much in the way of earnings. So it's all going to be any things that are related to interest rates, that are interest rate sensitive, even though it's already priced in terms of the the Fed funds rate. That doesn't mean that the rest of the market has it priced in perfectly the way it's supposed to be, right? So I think you're going to get a couple of opportunities in that. So again, thanks for being my guinea pigs and letting me do my quick little streaming here. And I will see you guys soon. Holler.